we're going to have a little discussion today about the Saudi Pro League. Let's catch up on the season so far, and then at the end we'll have a look ahead.
There's been so much going on, let's go for it.
Yes, and we have, look at this, a lot of questions. So, I shall begin. How would you sum up the Saudi Pro League season so far?
How would you sum up? I would say, I think there's all the pre-season storyline was dominated by George Jesus' move, obviously, to Al Nassr. That was huge. I don't think many people expected that to happen. That's really shaken things up. I think that for me has been the dominant storyline. Like, can George Jesus translate his success from Hilal to Nassr? We've obviously seen him do that in Portugal, moving from big club to big club, but it's not something that really happens that often in Saudi. So, like, yeah, and they've delivered so far, haven't they, with like Joao Felix? And is this the time? Is Ronaldo actually going to land the major trophies in Saudi Arabia?
Al Nassr have been fantastic. Obviously, they're perfect so far this season. I think slight disappointment in Al Ahly being Asian champions. Slight disappointment in Al Ittihad as well. You know, I mean, I know it never works out that all the top 4 or top 5 will all challenge for the title, but I was expecting a little bit more from Al Ahly. You know, having won the Champions League. You know,
I'm doing so well this season.
Yeah, they'll kick on,
as well,
and likewise, Ittihad obviously were the champions. Expecting a little bit more from them. Al Hilal are Al Hilal, you know, and we will expect them always to be up there, you know. And I guess they are somewhat on the tails of Al Nassr, and usually in the second half of the season they do come on strong. So we'll wait and see.
Well, I was going to say, for me, let's call them the little guys performing so well. Likes of Taoun, likes of Khalij. You know, that for me is the Saudi Pro League season so far, because we always have these expectations of Ittihad, of Al Ahly, of Hilal, and especially of Nassr. But for those little guys to be there or thereabouts, I'm calling them little guys. Is that, can I call them little guys?
Yeah.
Well, they are. They're not the big boys, are they?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the interesting stories of the season again is Neom. I think, you know, they've come up and they've done well. You know, it doesn't always work out, you know, when we expect one of the up-and-coming clubs, even if they're well-funded, you know, to actually come up and perform on the pitch. You know, we've expected in the past. I mean, you know, Ittifaq a few years ago and a few of the others, but Neom have come up. They've done really well.
What has been the biggest surprise of the season so far? Player, team, or moment, or all three?
I will go moment. I think the decision to get rid of Laurent Blanc so early in the season.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think without question, because
I'm still puzzled by that. I never understand a manager that is sacked at any point other than either the January window or the summer break.
Yeah.
I doesn't matter what the league, what the club, I still don't get that.
Agree with that. I think a surprise, I mean, I don't know if, I suppose it was a surprise within the context of a match, and as well because it was against Al Hilal, but Al Ahly's comeback against Al Hilal from 3-0 down was a great match.
Yeah,
I really did not expect that to happen.
Yeah.
The comeback, you know.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, you know, there's also, you know, it's strange they didn't sort of gain momentum from that, or like really strong momentum. But just as a standalone match was, you know, probably the match of the season so far, and you know, Al Hilal looked, you know, fantastic in that match. Looked like they're running away with it, and you know, for Al Ahly to come back from 3-0 down, like a very late equaliser as well. Yeah, that was a shock, but like a very entertaining match.
Yeah, it's good.
For me, Khalij.
Yeah.
And in particular for Tunis.
Yeah.
I think not only goals, assists
Loads
as well.
Loads of them.
Khalij themselves, you've got to go, wow.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
For us to be knocking around the halfway point and now, can they sustain it?
Yeah. That's the big question, yeah.
That's the big question.
You feel if anything happens to King or Tunis, it's going to be difficult.
Well, even Joshua King, which is, you know, the most Norwegian name that you can think of, even Joshua King, for a player to come in and hit the ground running like that, I think is always impressive. I don't care what the league is, what the team is. I think if you can come in and immediately start banging in the goals.
Yeah, I always think that because of obviously the weather conditions and stuff like that at the start of the season.
Especially at the beginning, yeah.
If you can be doing so well at the start, I always think that, wow. I will never fully judge a new foreign player in Middle East football until November time, something like that.
Goal of the season so far. Oh, I know this one.
Can it be anything else?
Yeah, go
really?
on. Say it. Say
Yeah.
it.
Cristiano Ronaldo against Khalid.
The overhead kick.
The overhead kick.
The athleticism.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
at
just
40
incredible.
years old to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
I've just turned 40. I think my whole body would disintegrate if I tried to do that. So no.
I'm a lot older than you as well, so I wouldn't say that. But no, I mean, what can you say? You know, I mean, if it was by any player in any league, it'd be goal of the season.
Who has been the standout player of the season so far?
Joao Felix.
Yeah.
I know Joe will come up with someone that we haven't thought of because I tend to go for a little bit more obvious ones, but I think Joao Felix has been superb.
And also the big man himself, Ronaldo, has still been absolutely spectacular as well, hasn't he? So, but yeah, I think Joao Felix is because also Joao Felix were a big question marks on obviously his last few moves in Europe. Did not work at AC Milan, the Chelsea return just absolutely did not work for him. I think everyone thought he was going to go back to Benfica and restart his career, but he made a bold move to come to this region and he really has reignited his career.
Who has impressed you the most amongst the Saudi players this season?
Al-Ghanam at Etifak, obviously he's been scoring lots and lots of goals, which I think he's a player who's always had promise, hasn't he? He's finally delivering. And I would say Ali Khaled, he's played lots of games in goal for Al Nassr this season. He was brilliant last season on loan at Al Fatah and he seems to have picked up again there.
With Saudi players, tend to go over the same players over and over again, sometimes. Salim.
Obviously, yeah.
I mean, I look at Salim for me, Salim Dosari played really well.
Asian Player of the Year again.
Asian Player of the Year before his injury, obviously a Club World Cup as well,
Yeah.
So, sort of your mind tends to go to him quite a lot, which is in a way disappointing that no one else come really big Saudi superstar to challenge him. I'm sure there's a lot of players who have improved, have good seasons. But again, if you're talking about standout players, the fact that Saudi will go to the World Cup with him being their main player for the third World Cup running, says a lot about his standing, how he continues to set the standards for Saudi players.
Which coach has impressed you the most?
Pericles Chamuska. and I know that we've been there before, but sometimes it doesn't always work out when you go back. They say never go back to an ex-girlfriend. I think sometimes it doesn't always work out like that, and Pericles Chamuska has come back to Taroun and has been brilliant, just like he was the first time round, and I think he'll continue to be, for me, without question.
What kind of football identity do you think the Saudi Pro League is developing?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Well, I'd say there's more entertainment. I mean, literally statistically, I think it was Match Week 5 had the most goals.
Loads of goals, yeah.
Yeah, I think it had 40 goals.
That's the first word that came to my mind.
Yeah.
Is entertainment.
Yeah. It's quicker, it's faster, there's more goals, there's more entertainment. You've got the weight of talent now really proven. We've had, we're several years into the change of transfers, and the talent is everywhere in the league.
I think if this fits under identity, I see that the Saudi League, it is the strongest league in Asia at the moment.
Without question.
Without question. I think they want that. They see that in the Saudi League quite rightly, and I think Al Ahly won the Champions League last year. You really can't look beyond Saudi clubs this year as well. So I think identity, entertainment, and dominance.
And also some new names. So now you've got this season. You've got what's the best way to describe them? The mega project clubs. You've got Al Qadisiyah second season back, Neom Sports Club first season back, and then also next season, highly likely Diriyah plus Al Ula are going to be in the league as well. So you have the traditional giant clubs, the 2 from Jeddah, 2 from Riyadh, but now there are new names that are coming in and are setting the foundations.
And if you're starting to get interest from foreign owners as well.
That's a huge one. That's a massive change. Literally, historic change. The Den Haag takeover of Al Khaled. Yeah.
Can I add in there the point in the season? For all the years we've all been watching the Saudi League, we've talked about climate before. When you get to the winter, it's a different type of game. The pace of the game is fabulous. It's European in its pace and style in the winter, which is a stark contrast to the beginning of the season when it's hot and humid. And I have noticed, especially in the last 2 or 3 seasons, that pace and tempo, even with the clubs all the way to the bottom, has got way better once you get into those winter months. Back end of October, November, December, January.
Yeah, it's a fabulous watch during those months.
Yeah. I think we've covered there. Entertainment and intensity, I suppose, you know.
Who is in danger of slipping into a relegation battle?
Shabab,
Yeah.
Yeah.
without question, Shabab. I mean, I think at the moment they are 3 points
He's very close.
off the drop zone.
Yeah.
Momentum against them. I'm really, really worried about Shabab going down.
I think easily the most obvious answer here. You know, the clubs that are in the positions at the moment are the clubs you would expect to be there. And all that.
Yeah.
If you're talking about a team slipping into it, you know,
They stand out, don't they? That bottom
Stand
half
out.
of the table. Yeah.
To touch your back.
Yeah. I think Etifak potentially as well. It's been a very they've not really been able to build any momentum at any time.
But they've still got quality in
They
that
have still
squad
got quality,
that if
yeah.
you can get a couple of key players that get a
Yeah.
bit of rhythm and go on a run, then you can avoid all of that. With Shabab's squad, I don't see that as much.
Yeah, I think with certain clubs you can say with some degree of certainty that there are few worse clubs and all that, and that regardless, you know, they will have enough points. Without Shabab, it's alarming, you know, and then you think that, you know, while you say, oh, are there 3 worse teams or whatever, and all that, you know, they could be one of those, could slip into that. It's pretty worrying at the moment, yeah.
Okay, so in summary, who wins?
Al Hilal.
Al Nassr.
Taoun. Thank you, gentlemen.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.